Hello everyone. In this video we'll try making the menu file. So if you remember, this is what our menu looks like right now, and what we'll do is we'll try adding a few buttons and all to this menu. So the first thing I want to do is get rid of this text, and then I want to add a view which has the style, which is, let's say, styles.header, and within this view I want to add a text which has style with of styles dot title, let's say, and within that let's just write 2048. So if we go ahead and look at our menu file now, look at our UI now, we can see that it just has 2048 written here, no real styling done. So what I want to do is I want to open the styles file, and here I want to give styles for both header and title. So let's go into this, and here for our header, let's give it a height of, let's say, 25% maybe. And another thing that I want to remember here is I want to import colors from common/colors, and then I'm also going to give the header a background color of let's say colors.accent. So that's the color that I want to give, and let's try and open it. So as you can see, my accent color is full black, so that's what I'm getting right here, and this much is 25% of the entire thing. So that's what I get with my header. And for my title, what I'm going to say is I want the font size to be, let's say, 40. Let's try 40. And I want the color to be colors.primary. That's my primary color. So as you can see, it's bigger now with a greenish kind of color. So let's actually make it a little bit bigger. So let's make it 46. And another thing that I want to do is I want to say that font weight is bold. So let's do that as well. So now as you can see, it's slightly bigger and bold as well. And I want to position this right here like I showed you in the game in the first video. So what I do for that is in my header I say align items to if I make this center, let's see what happens. I just want to show you what happens. So this is where it comes. So it just gets horizontal center when I do align items. So what I want to do for align items is I want to say flex end, and let's just save it. And as you can see, it goes to the very right. And the other vertical alignment which I want to bring down is justify content. So if I do justify content center, let's see what happens. As you can see, it comes to the vertical center now, and again if I do a flex end, this is going to come to the bottom. So this looks fine, but I just need some margin on the right side. So for my title I can say margin right is, let's say, 2% maybe. So let's go ahead and try that. So this looks pretty good. Maybe I want it slightly bigger, so let's make this something like 60 maybe. That'll be significantly bigger. And I'm not sure if it took effect, so let's go ahead and reload. So yeah, this is my 60 with bold, and let's just leave it at that. The UI isn't really my main concern right now. And the next thing I want to do is I want to add a button, but I don't want to directly add a button right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a component for my button, and the reason I want to do that is because whenever there's different times when I want to use a button, I don't want to style it again and again. So I'm going to create a reusable component which is a button, and then just use that button everywhere, and I'll get the same style as well. To a certain extent I can still change the style later, but to a certain extent it'll get some style. So let's go in our components and let's create a new folder which is primary button. And the reason I'm calling this primary button is because I'm also going to later have a secondary button. So secondary button as well. And let's just focus on our primary button right now. So I create a new file which is primary button.js, and within this I also need styles.js. So let's just move the menu styles to right here. So within my primary button I want to import React component from React. I want to import view, of course. I'll need text. I'll also need touchable opacity. Now touchable opacity is what we are going to use as our button. So that's what we are going to import from React Native. And I'm also going to import /styles, which is the styles file right here. So this one which I created in the same folder as my primary button. And now let's just do export default class primary button extends component, and within this I want a render method, and within my render method I'm going to return something. So what I'm going to return is actually a touchable opacity, and the style that I want to give it is, let's say, styles.button. And I'm also going to give this an on press. So I want an on press equals some function. So within these braces I now want to give some function right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave it to an empty function right now. So this is how I keep it to an empty function. Now one thing that I want to do is, when I go to my menu, the way I want to use my button is I want to say something like primary button, and then I want to give it a title, because when I have different buttons in different places I might want to have different text within this. So this thing right here which I give, which is something like this, title equals start game. This thing right here is called a prop. So let's go in our primary button. So here what I can do is I can say const title equals this dot props. So from this props object, so this props object will be something like this. So it'll be something like, it'll have a title which will be something, let's say start game. Then it will have something else which might be on press. So what should it do when it's pressed? So this will be some function. So this is what our props object will contain. And when I use these braces right here, it says that from this object you'll find a property named title. So just get me the value of title and put it into the title variable. So let's get rid of this. So now what I can do is I can say text style equals styles dot, let's say, button title, and then here what I can do is I can just say title. Remember, this title should be within these curly braces, otherwise it'll just have the text title title that way. So let's save this and let's actually just try using it at this point. So I haven't really given it any style. Let's see whether of course primary button is not defined because I need to import it. So import primary button from components / primary button and let's go back and reload. This is again going to give me an error which says unable to resolve module, and I actually knew this beforehand but I wanted to show you, and the reason I'm getting that error is because I haven't created my package.json file here. So I do package.json, and within this I want the name component name, and this should be components. So when I save this now and I open my app, if I hit reload, this is going to reload just fine. I probably won't get alright, so I'm getting a styles not defined error because I don't have anything here. So let's just do an import style sheet from React Native and import colors from common/colors, export default stylesheet.create, and within stylesheet.create I could probably just give some kind of style to button and some kind of style to title. Let's just leave this blank for now. Let's see what happens, and then we can style this, give this some style. So let's go ahead and hit reload. So once again it stays styles is not defined. So this is probably because alright, so import styles from /styles. That's how I should have been doing it. So let's go back, and now it's reloading. So let's see what this gives. So as you can see, I've got this start game right here, and I can actually click it. I'm not sure if this is very clear, but when I click this is giving me some kind of feedback that it did register a click. So that's I think it for this video, because it's already been 11 minutes. We'll continue this same thing, creating the menu, in the next video. So I'll see you there. Don't forget to give the video a like, and I'll see you next time.